second suspect of Stutong Kopitiam robbery nabbed. ringgit menu introduced for the hardcore poor. And Sarawak is all set for cooperation with Brunei. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muhammad Yusuf, and you're now watching TVS Nightline. We're beginning with our top story. A second suspect who is allegedly involved with an armed robbery at an eatery in Jalan Stutong, Kuching was successfully nabbed by authorities on Thursday, January 27th at 7:30 p.m. The arrest was made by the police less than a day after the first suspect, which is a 35-year-old man. He was detained at his residence at 9:50 p.m. last Wednesday.
Dalam masa yang sama, kita turut merampas kereta yang digunakan dan beberapa barang-barang lainlah yang ada kaitan dengan siasatan. So, suspek yang kita bawa tangkap ni berumur 23 tahun. Juga memiliki beberapa rekod-rekod kes-kes lampau, dadah dan jenayah-jenayah berkaitan dengan harta benda termasuk bocah rumah.
With the arrest made, Ashman said the police are close to closing the case. Investigations are still ongoing to identify whether there are other accomplices who are involved in orchestrating the robbery. On Tuesday, a CCTV video of the armed robbery went viral on social media when it was posted by netizens on social media. Incidents of armed robbery at eateries in Sarawak are not common and will garner the attention of many if it happens.
The government will soon introduce Menu Rahmah, which offers meals priced at ringgit and below, specifically for the hardcore poor. And according to the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister, Datuk Seri Salahuddin Ayub, the menu, which includes rice, chicken or fish and vegetables, will be introduced after the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living KPDN signs a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the Malaysian Indian Restaurant Owners Association and the Malaysian Tom Yum Operators Association next week.
Jadi saya telah mencadangkan diwujudkan satu menu bawah RM5. Menu makan tengah hari ini bawah RM5. Nasi, seketul ayam atau ikan rakyat lah, dan sedikit sayur ini mereka boleh jual di bawah RM5. Itu satu yang telah saya cadangkan untuk golongan yang sangat memerlukan.
He said this to the reporters after a walkabout held in Bangi, Selangor earlier today. On the implementation of OP Menu 3.0, which started on January 23rd, Salahuddin said a total of 614 food premises were inspected nationwide and 9 compound fines were imposed on premises for offences under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011.
Cuma satu sajalah nasihat akhir saya. Kita tidak mahu mengambil pendekatan undang-undang. Kita mengelakkan saman. Tapi premis ini, perniagaan ini saya harap dapat mematuhi. Tadi kita dapat tengok memang kelemahan dari segi meletakkan tanda harga pada semua menu-menu yang mereka hidangkan.
To fulfill matters that were outlined in the Paris Agreement, Sarawak is ready to work with Brunei in 2 sectors, namely in investment and energy. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, said cooperation in the field of renewable energy is a topic that has been discussed with Brunei throughout the years.
Itu adalah komitmen negara-negara melalui Paris Agreement itu. Jadi kita seperti kita tahu, more than 70% of our capacity for power come from hydro, renewable energy. Jadi kita bersedia untuk kerjasama. malahan ini perkara yang telah pun kita bincang selama ini, ya. Dan kita juga melalui perbincangan kita, dan jika kita membina misalnya hydropower di Terusan, di Lawas, if we are to proceed with the developments of hydropower in Terusan, pihak Brunei juga berminat untuk to take some equity in the developments of the hydropower in Terusan.
In terms of investment, Awang said there are various sectors in which Sarawak can cooperate with Brunei, namely food security, manufacturing sector, oil and gas, especially the petrochemical industry.
Dan macam di Tanjung Manis itu, adalah satu kawasan untuk dibangun untuk industri halal, ya, yang ini adalah satu peluang untuk kita bekerjasama. Ya. Malahan dari segi sektor pelancongan itu juga kita bincang. Ya. Dan salah satu daripadanya ialah kita bersetuju to have a joint promotion untuk Sarawak, Brunei, Sabah, ya, dan to utilize the air connectivity yang ada di Brunei itu, dan kita juga membincangkan tentang kerjasama bagaimana kita dapat berusaha melalui pengurusan event misalnya, acara-acara, ya, regata satu yang popular, dan Brunei sekarang ini ada dia jembatan panjang di Asia ini, ya, dan kita boleh, ya, memikirkan mungkin kita boleh adakan maraton, ya, maraton Borneo, ya.
He said this to the media after attending the Sarawak Timber Industry Development Corporation's STIDC 50th anniversary gathering on Friday. Earlier in his speech, Tengah said, in line with the post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030, the timber industry has been recognized as one of the major economic sectors that can contribute to the development of Sarawak by 2030.
The Institute of Islamic Understanding Malaysia, or IKIM, wants to establish cooperation with the Sarawak government in implementing various Islamic programs. Its Deputy Chairman, Dato' Wan Muhammad Sheikh Abdul Aziz, said the institute plans to conduct research, seminars, conferences and others related to Islam.
Secara umumnya tujuan kunjung hormat kita ialah kita nak beri update tentang aktiviti IKIM, khususnya yang sesuai dengan konteks Sarawak. Misalnya kerjasama dalam bidang penyelidikan yang boleh dilaksanakan bersama dengan agensi-agensi di bawah kerajaan negeri, termasuk program yang bersifat latihan, misalnya attachment program dan seumpamanya. Dan kami sangat teruja kerana kami dapati program-program seumpama ini pihak kerajaan Sarawak telah jauh ke depan, termasuk kerjasama dengan pihak di luar negara.
Shaikh added, IKIM plays an important role in bridging cooperation with agencies under the Sarawak government that could benefit both parties.
Ia selari dengan misi dan fungsi IKIM selaku agensi yang fokus kepada penyelidikan, consultation dan juga promote understanding. Jadi dalam konteks Sarawak sebenarnya kami banyak belajar model atau manhaj Sarawak untuk kita mempergiatkan lagi agenda memupuk keharmonian antara rakyat Malaysia yang mempunyai pelbagai latar belakang agama, kaum, budaya dan seumpamanya.
The Ministry of Education MOE has adopted an open attitude and is ready to improve all aspects to empower education in Sarawak. Its Minister Fadlina Sidek said this is to ensure that matters related to education in Sarawak align with the Malaysian Agreement 1963 or MA63. Met after paying a courtesy visit to Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg at Wisma Bapa Malaysia on Friday, Fadlina said her ministry is committed to upholding the agreement and solving the issue of dilapidated schools in Sarawak.
Pertamanya pastilah berkaitan isu-isu pendidikan di Sarawak yang saya fikir ini adalah antara kerja keras kita dalam menyambut khususnya MA63 dalam bercakap tentang soal pendidikan untuk semua. No one should left behind dan akses pendidikan yang kita harus utamakan yang terkait rapat juga dengan pembangunan sekolah-sekolah daif di Sarawak.
When asked about the issue of education autonomy, she said both parties are working on minor refinements on the matter.
Kita hanya saling menyambut antara satu sama lain dan mengekalkan apa sedia ada insya-Allah dan menambah baik. Itu yang paling penting sebab tadi Premier juga kongsikan tentang roadmap pendidikan di Sarawak yang saya fikir sangat penting untuk kami sambut di peringkat persekutuan.
Similarly, efforts to restore 568 dilapidated schools in Sarawak will be one of the main focuses of the federal government in Budget 2023 to be tabled on February 24th. Education Minister Fadlina Sidek said the Ministry of Education has identified 455 dilapidated schools, which are on a scale of 6, and 113 dilapidated schools on a scale of 7. Referring to Sarawak, Fadlina said the Ministry of Education will focus fully on dilapidated schools.
Kalau kita lihat dalam konteks sekolah daif, skala 6 dan 7 ini adalah maknanya dalam konteks yang sama ada bahaya, tidak selamat dan kita bagi perhatian penuhlah pada sekolah-sekolah yang berskala 6 dan 7 ini. So ada 113 skala 7 dan 455 skala 6. Jadi ini tumpuan kita. Jadi memang kita tidak meminggirkan mana-mana sekolah, kita bagi tumpuan pada semua.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim previously gave his assurance that Budget 2023 to be retabled on February 24th will meet the needs of every layer of society. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, said the contents of Budget 2023 is still being worked on. However, the government under his administration will not leave behind any groups. Minister of Women, Family and Community Development Datuk Seri Nancy Shukri hopes for more funds to be allocated to her ministry under Budget 2023 in efforts to create more initiatives such as establishing a department specifically for children. And aside from that, more funds are needed to empower workers under the ministry and at the same time increase its workforce. According to Nancy, this will enable departments under her ministry to operate more efficiently.
Maka kita nak meningkatkan perkhidmatan kita dari segi mutu, perkhidmatan mereka yang menjadi penjaga, penyelia ataupun pegawai akhlak kita nak meningkatkan kemahiran mereka. Jadi maka sudah tentu memang ada dari segi penambahan itu perlu diwujudkan dan perlu diberikan kepada kementerian ini yang sudah kita harapkan dan jangkakan dah. Ya.
On to our next update. The second day of the search and rescue SAR operation to locate a man who is feared to have drowned after his boat was allegedly capsized in the waters of Kampung Pasir Pandak has been called off late evening as no new leads were found. What's more concerning to the SAR team is that none of the victims' friends or family members have turned up to lodge a missing persons report.
According to the Assistant Director of the Operations Department of JBPM Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department, Henry Ardimansyah, the search radius of the operation was expanded to identify more leads. The operation resumed at 8 a.m. today, which involved various agencies including the Malaysian Civil Defence Force APM, Fisheries Department, Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency APMM, and Sarawak Coast Guard SCG.
Kita melakukan pencarian di darat dan juga di di kawasan perairan yang berdekatan lah. Untuk hari ini dalam 5 mile lah, 5 batu nautika sekitar kawasan tu lah. Dan di kawasan pun dilakukan juga keperluan pencarian untuk menemui kalau ada petunjuk lah untuk kepada kes mangsa orang hilang ni.
Additionally, the search and rescue team has also deployed its Air Mobility Force Drone Unit, PGU. Unfortunately, no new leads were found. On Thursday, a man was reported missing after the small boat he was boarding was believed to have capsized in the waters of Pasir Panjang, Sedungus.
Meanwhile, locals have come out as eyewitnesses to give insights on what might have happened to the man who has gone missing in the waters of Pasir Panjang. They claim that the boat was moving at high speed before it capsized.
Baju je yang nampak warna hitam.
Baju warna hitam. Lelaki.
Lelaki. Memang tak nampak.
Memang tak nampak dah. Orang dia tak nampak, bot pun dah tak nampak dah. Yang cuma nampak pelampung hitam.
Pelampung hitam.
Another witness, Abu Sama, said when he saw the boat capsize, he made a report to the nearest police station.
Report polis mula-mula anak buah ni. Lepas tu minta tolong orang kampung. Kali ada saudara mara dia pergi ke laut kan. Semua dah diempo dekat kampung tu. Tak kenal. Tak kenal. Sebab dia memang, kalau kampung ni memang kenal siapa yang punya. Tapi macam bot tu memang tak ada lah.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Douglas UGGAH Mbas, is optimistic that the State Public Works Department, or JKR, will be able to properly leverage the new 50 million ringgit ceiling for federal project implementation in the region. Earlier this month, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that Sarawak and Sabah would each be given autonomy over federal projects under 50 million ringgit and would not have to refer to Putrajaya over the implementation process. According would do away with bureaucracy and delays. UGGAH, who is also the Minister of Infrastructure and Port Development, said he had assured the Prime Minister during his visit to Sarawak that the department had ample experience in implementing big projects previously. He said if the state JKR does well, the Prime Minister had promised that the future budget ceilings would be even higher. Thus, he stressed on the importance of delivering results and to resolve issues affecting its performance. UGGAH also hoped that with JKR's new Key Performance Index KPI of 0 Project Sakit, 2023 will bring in a new and positive image for the department. Earlier, UGGAH was met after attending a briefing at JKR headquarters office at Wisma Sabekas on Friday. A total of 202 police personnel from the Kuching Police Headquarters IPD received their second COVID-19 booster dose from the Ministry of Health MOH earlier today. And according to Osman, the booster shot is important as it provides protection against the virus while the police are on duty.
Program ini khas untuk barisan hadapan yang kita akan sentiasa bersama dengan masyarakat dalam apa keadaan sekalipun. Jadi adalah penting kita sebagai agensi penguatkuasa di bawah program untuk vaccination ini untuk bersama-sama menyokong penuh dasar yang dilaksanakan oleh IKIM bagi memastikan usaha kerajaan dapat membendung dan mengawal berkaitan dengan pandemik.
Ashman further added that the vaccine was distributed to 9 police stations under the jurisdiction of IPD, where family members of police officers were included as well. Meanwhile, Medical Officer Dr. Rohasnida Amika, who led the vaccination team, said the vaccine utilized for the vaccine drive was the Comirnaty concentrate dispersion for injection produced by Pfizer-BioNTech.
Welcome back. The Home Ministry has no plans to reduce the 1,500 ringgit fee implemented under the Workforce Recalibration Program RTK 2.0 since applications began earlier today. Its Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail clarified there was no strong justification for the fees to be reduced or abolished.
Proses ini berjalan seperti yang kita hasratkan. Ya, dia tidak ada satu lonjakan permasalahan yang besar yang perlu kita lakukan anjakan dari segi polisi ataupun sistem kenaan dan sebagainya. Apa berlaku? Rekalibrasi kalau majikan mengambil seorang yang undocumented migrant ini, kalau dia melibatkan terlebih masa tinggal, umpamanya, itu certain charge dikenakan, ya, maximum of 3,100 apa semua ringgit. Dalam mesyuarat jawatankuasa yang dipengusikan oleh Perdana Menteri beberapa minggu lepas berkaitan perkara ini, Kementerian memberikan our position statement, ya, iaitu we are prepared to facilitate kerana rekalibrasi ini untuk tahun lepas menyumbang lebih 700 juta revenue pada kerajaan. Pada masa yang sama, majikan dapat memenuhi keperluan mereka. Dan tenaga itu adalah sumber tenaga kerja itu berada dalam negara.
He said this to the reporters after giving his New Year address at the ministry's headquarters earlier today.
The Ministry of National Unity continues to focus on supporting the government in achieving the effort towards Masyarakat Madani. Its Minister Dato' Aaron Agodagang said this was in line with the Prime Minister's aspiration, who introduced the concept on January 19th.
Kementerian Perpaduan kita menjurus kepada kendok kerjaan perpaduan sekarang ini, iaitu slogan baru yang dinamakan Masyarakat ataupun Malaysia Madani.
Therefore, he added the ministry will serve as a catalyzing agent to strengthen the unity of Malaysians through the implementation of activities and campaigns.
Dalam perburuan ini, we want to make a feel-good factors untuk semua rakyat. Dan dengan itu kita dapat mengukurnya dari segi indeks. Kita akan mengadakan indeks perpaduan, indeks happiness, dan ini kita akan adakan every 2 years. We try to put up where we stand in terms of perpaduan, in terms of happiness, in terms of well-being of the people in Malaysia.
Aaron added the Unity Week Festival will be the first of its kind and will be held every year from then onwards. The celebration, which will be held on the last week of May, will involve various government agencies, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and the private sectors. Also present were the Minister of Community Development and People's Welfare Sabah, Datuk James Ratib, and the Director of the Department of National Unity and Integration Sabah, Delene Lead Blaun.
Now, a babysitter pleaded not guilty in the IKIM Magistrates Court here today on allegations of causing hurt to an 8-month-old baby girl in 2022. Siti Akila Shahimi, 25, was accused of injuring the baby who was placed under her care at a house in Taman Limbungan Permai, Melaka at 6:20 p.m. on September 7th. The suspect has been charged under Section 323 of the Penal Code, which provides a jail term of up to 2 years or a fine of up to 2,000 ringgit or both upon conviction. Magistrate Mazana Sinin allowed a bail of 2,000 ringgit with one surety and has fixed March 14th for the cases mentioned. Police have seized 29 slabs of compressed marijuana, which was smuggled from Thailand following the arrest of 3 men at a house in Lebuh Raya Sultan Abdul Halim. Kota Setar Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ahmad Shukri Mat Ahir said the arrest was carried out by a team from the Bukit Aman Narcotics Investigation Department at about 11:10 p.m.
The first suspect, who is a 48-year-old local man, was arrested outside of his house. The other 2 suspects, who are 34 years old and 45 years old, were then arrested inside the house. They were identified to be Thai nationals.
Salah seorang suspek yang berusia 45 tahun tu, dia telah membawa polis ke arah satu kawasan semak berhampiran dengan rumah tersebut dan telah menunjukkan 2 guni yang berwarna kuning yang diletakkan di dalam semak. Jadi hasil pemeriksaan di dalam guni tersebut telah menemui 29 ketulan mampat, masing-masing dibaluti dengan pita pelekat lut sinar mengandungi dedaun mampat kehijauan, disyaki dadah jenis ganja.
Shukri added that the prime suspect had a various drug-related record. He said all 3 suspects tested positive for methamphetamine and tetrahydrocannabinol (THC. The drugs, which has an estimated value of nearly 75,000 ringgit, could be consumed by 130,000 drug abusers. Police also seized a 4-wheel drive vehicle belonging to the local man and cash amounting to 6,000 ringgit. All 3 suspects are currently held under a week-long remand order for further investigations. Police have classified the case under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act ADB 1952.
And finally, the Palestinian Authority said it was ending its security coordination with Israel after a deadly military strike by the latter in a flashpoint city on Thursday. Nabil Abu Rudaini, senior advisor to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, said Israel undermining the signed agreement and continued raids was the main cause for the coordination to end, among other things. In light of the repeated aggression against our people and the undermining of signed agreements, including security, we consider that security coordination with the Israeli occupation government no longer exists as of now. The security coordination with the Israeli occupation government no longer exists as of now.
The security coordination with Israel has been widely credited with helping to keep orders in the West Bank and preventing attacks against Israel. However, earlier this week, Israeli commandos ignored the agreement and killed 7 gunmen and 2 civilians in a raid on Jenin, thus stirring fears of further flare-ups after the largest single death tolls in years of fighting. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, at least 30 Palestinians, including gunmen and civilians, have been killed by Israeli forces in the West Bank since January 1st.
That's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. Once again, my name is Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you for watching and good night.